Hello, welcome. In this session, we are going to look at most repeated topics in government for Ssce, that is Wassce and National Examination Council, Ssce. The first one we are going to look at is state under government as an institution. Now, state is a group of people occupying a defined territory under a government with the power to make and enforce laws with all coercive means it can employ without any form of external intervention. And state has key features, which are: one, population, which refers to the people occupying that definite territory, both citizens and non-citizens. Two, government, which is the instrument through which the will of the state is being formulated, expressed, and realized. We also have defined territory, that is the area occupied by the state as can be seen in the map. We also have permanence, that is does not change. We also have recognition, that is must be recognized by international bodies. These are the features of a state. Another topic that you need to always prepare for when you want to write Wassce is foreign policy. Now, foreign policy refers to the principles, rules, and regulations that guide a country's interaction with other countries and has stand on international issues. Now, factors that determine a country's foreign policy include: one, we have national interest, the goal of the country, military strength of the country, the personality of the leader, the ideology of a state, international organization, public opinion, customs and traditions, the personality of the leader, military strength of the state. So these are some of the factors that determine even the economic resources of a country, religious affiliation of that country. These are some of the factors that determine a country's foreign policy. To also prepare yourself for Ssce, you must be abreast with constitutional development in Nigeria. We have pre-independence and post-independence constitutions. You must know about Clifford Constitution of 1922, which established a legislative council, executive council, most importantly, elective principles in the country. It also introduced a system of franchise that requires the person must have an annual income of £100 before the person is granted franchise. Then, apart from this, we also have Richard Constitution of 1946, which divided the country into three regions: East, North, East, and West, and also created houses of assembly in each of the regions. It also went ahead and created a House of Chiefs in the Northern region, created a Central Legislative Council for the whole country for the first time. We also have the Macpherson Constitution of 1951 that granted regions autonomy. They were given the powers to make laws. The Federal Executive Council became the Council of Ministers. The Central Legislative Council became House of Representatives. And also, the system of revenue was introduced. We had a quasi-federal structure, Africanization scheme or indigenization scheme, where Africans, whites that retire from public service will be replaced by blacks. Apart from that, we also have the Lexington Constitution, which the key provision is making Nigeria a federal state. Nigeria became a full-fledged federal state through the process of power sharing. So from there, we had other constitutions, the 1960 Constitution, the Republican Constitution, the 1979 Constitution, the 1989 Constitution, and finally, the 1999 Constitution. For you to also write Ssce successfully, you also have to know civil service, which is an organized government central department under permanent government central department under the executive arm of government, responsible for the implementation of government policies. Here we are talking about the ministries, and we have certain features that characterize the public service. We have that they are permanent, that is, they can be changed by the change in any government. They are impartial, that is, loyal to any government in power. They are recruited based on merit and qualification. They are anonymous, meaning that they are they don't take blames or praises for any official action they carry out, and as well, they do not review government policies, secrets of government. Then they are non-partisan, meaning they don't take part, they don't belong to political parties. Then we have the functions of the civil service, like implementation of laws, preparation of budgets, and the rest of them. You have to prepare yourself for civil service. You have to also study about electoral systems. You need to prepare yourself about electoral systems. Now, when you talk about the electoral system, you begin to look at systems like simple majority system, that is the simple plurality system that talks about the fact that for each candidate to be declared the winner, that candidate must have the highest vote cast. Then we have another, we also call it first past the post system. We also have the absolute majority system. A candidate to be declared winner must have over 50% of the vote cast. That is, must have more than the combined votes of other candidates. That's majority of the vote cast to be declared winner. We also have preferential voting system, where voters rank the candidates in order of preference. That is, candidate A, I give you 1, candidate C, I give you 2, candidate 3, and that's in order of their preference. We also have an electoral system that we call proportional representative. Proportional representative is an electoral system where seats are allotted to parties in proportion to the number of votes they got in an election. And this normally takes place where you have what we call multi-member constituency. That is where a constituency elects more than one person. For you to also prepare very well for Wassce, you must be abreast with systems of government. That is, you must know about unitary system of government. That is a system of government where power of the governmental powers are concentrated or centralized in one single authority. Citizens owe their loyalty only to the central government. The source of authority is the central government. The central government is supreme. We also have another system of government that we call the federal system of government, which you see in Nigeria. United States, the United Kingdom practices unitary system of government. In a federal system of government, it's a system of government where governmental powers are constitutionally shared between the central government and the component unit. That is, this system of government recognizes and prescribes what we call levels of government. So, like in Nigeria, you see the federal government as the central government or national government. You have the you have the state government, you have the local government. This state government and local government constitute the constituent units of the federation. Then you also have what we call confederal system. It's a form of government an organization made up of sovereign states who still maintain their sovereignty in that their union, in such a way that the component units are stronger than the central government. You see, AU is a form of confederal system. Now we also have systems of government based on the relationship between the executive and the legislature. We have the parliamentary or cabinet system of government, or the Westminster system. It's a form of government, a system of government where the head of state is different from the head of government, and there's no clear separation of powers between the legislature and the executive. This is because members of the legislature are also members of the executive. You need to read about it, look at the features of the system, like collective responsibility, the legislature being same as the executive. That members of the legislature are also members of the executive. Then you see coalition government likely to happen. The prime minister is the leader of the party that has majority seat in the parliament. On the other hand, we have the presidential system of government, which is a system of government where the head of state is also head of government, and there is clear separation of powers between the legislature and the executive, in such a way that an executive member cannot be a member of the legislature. The Constitution prohibits that. So that is how it is, the system of government. Then you also have to prepare yourself on party systems. We have different party systems. We have one party system, where is a party system where only one political party is allowed to operate in a political system or dominates in a political system. It can be what we call de jure one-party system, where the law permits the existence of only one-party system. It could be what we call de facto one-party system. That is where the law permits the existence of different political parties, but only one party dominates the political system. Then we also have the two-party system, where a party system where the law permits only two parties to exist. We also have de jure, we also have the de facto two-party system. De jure, where the law prescribes for only two political parties, like Nigeria in the Third Republic. De facto, where two parties dominate in the polity. We also have the multi-party system, where more than two political parties are allowed to operate in a political system, like we practice in Nigeria Fourth Republic. That's currently in our system. You also need to prepare yourself on the basic concepts in government, like power, which is the ability to command the obedience of others by the threat of sanction. Authority, which is the right to command the obedience of others. Legitimacy, which is the acceptance and recognition of the right to command obedience of the people. You have to be abreast with these concepts like political socialization, concepts like political culture. You must be abreast with it. Then you must also prepare yourself for federalism in Nigeria. We have talked about meaning of federalism. You have to look at the evolution of federalism in Nigeria, that is starting from the amalgamation in 1914 to 1954 Constitution. Look at some of the key constitutional provisions that gave rise to federalism in Nigeria, especially the 1946 Constitution, the 1951 Constitution, and the late 18 Constitution. I have to also study the problems of Nigerian Federation and the features of Nigerian Federation. Then in international organizations, it's very important that you prepare yourself for United Nations at least. United Nations is one topic that you must see either in objective or in theory. So you must learn the origin of United Nations for your objectives. For the theory, you also have to prepare yourself for the arms, and both objectives and theory, you have to prepare yourself for the organs of United Nations and their functions, and the personnel, the constitution of these organs, the problems of United Nations. So these are some of the most repeated topics you see in government. And of course, you must also prepare for pre-colonial administration, the Igbo pre-colonial administration, the Hausa Fulani pre-colonial administration, and the Yoruba pre-colonial administration. You must be able to know the features of each of these pre-colonial administration. I wish you the best as you go there to write the examination. Good luck.